So let's have a look at chapter 1. This is 1.1, points, lines and planes. And as you can see, you've got an awful amount of vocabulary. And then what you need to do is look at the vocabulary, look at all the terms, see what each and every one of them means. As we go through this section, it will give you all the definitions. But the best thing to do, make notes, see how you go with it. And as you can see from example 1, it's asking you to look at the diagram, and it's asking you to come up with a line that contains point W. Well, here's W, so you can see where it is. Now, every letter on that line you can use with W, or you don't have to use W. So for instance, as you can see, you've got 4 points on W, you've got V, W, X and Y. And as you can see, you're going to come up with 12 different scenarios, starting with VW, going from VW and WV, we can work it backwards. The other thing we can do, which it hasn't done, is if you've got a line, you can actually just call it N. So any of those will do, but you need 2 points in order to make, to contain the point. So let's have a look at question number 1, a line containing point X. Well, there's point X, so you want anything that's got that. So you can have XY, and obviously you can use YX because obviously it's backwards. So you can then do XR and RX. There's no definition on whether you have to have alphabetical order or not. Okay. You can also use line M because it's got that in an italic, so that's on its own. And you can also use RY or YR. So any one of those will do in order to answer that question. Okay, so now what we're looking at is different geometric shapes. A push pin is a point. Can't be anything else than that. It's a circle in respect, but it's just a point somewhere on the card. Okay, the maroon border is also known as a line. The edge of the card is also a line, but the card itself is a plane. So as you can see, you've got a point, you've got lines, and you've got planes. So if you we're now looking at questions, so let's have a look. What would a tightrope look like? Well, don't forget a tightrope. If you think about it, we'll have a stanchion there, and it will be going across there. So from there to there would actually be a line. Okay, and then any floor, it doesn't matter which floor you're looking at. Well, the floor basically is, I've made a rectangle, but this is going to be a plane. Okay, so what you're going to do now is look at different shapes. What names would it be? Would it be a line? Would it be a point? Would it be a plane? All right, so let's have a look at these figures in geometrics. Normally they will give you coordinates. So here they've given you A, B, C and D. When you get questions like this, the best thing to do, first thing to do is to draw it. Okay, so as it says here, the first one it's asking you for is to graph it. Well, obviously it's done here on the right hand side. And label and in the intersection of E. Where does it say the label E? It tells you that they intersect at E. Now the next part is talking about F. It gives you the point F. So now it's asking you for information about it. So what have you got? Well, A, B and CD intersect at E. So CD are collinear. So C, E and D are collinear. A, E and B are collinear. All right. F is on the plane. It's not on the line, but it is a point, and that is coplanar. Okay, it's not collinear, it's just coplanar. It's on the same plane as A, B, C and D, but it's not touching any of them, so it's just coplanar. All right, so let's have a look at what we've got. Okay, so A is 0, -5, B is 3, 1, and point C that is not collinear to AB. All right, so let's just draw basically. So 0, 5 is going to be down here. Let's just give that A, and 3, 1 is going to be there, which is B. And point C is not collinear. So that line here, So long as you put point C anywhere else on the plane, apart from anywhere on that line, you've got a good answer. So let's just put it up in this quadrant and let's just give C there. Alright, so now at this time in example 4, we're looking at the drawings, we're interpreting the drawings, and then what it's asking you for is how many planes appear on the figure. Well, as you can see, they've given you 6. They've actually given you X as the plane, so you're a lot easier than that. And then if you look at it, you've got a pentagonal pyramid. So each of the sides will fit in. So you've got 5 sides. Okay, you can't count the base because you don't see it. So there are 6 planes on that diagram. Okay, points that are collinear. Well, okay, points J and K and D. Okay, so they're all collinear. That's this line here. Okay, so they're all collinear. What else could you have done? You could have had F and G. You could have had M and L. They're all collinear. All right. And at what point do L and M and E and F intersect? Well, it tells you here, but it tells you it does not appear that these lines intersect. So LM is this guy here, and EF is this guy here. All right, we don't know that E, F and L are in a straight line, so never make that assumption. So therefore you've got to turn around and say that there is nothing. All right, so let's have a look at question number 8. How many planes are there? Right, well here, let's have a look at what you've got. You've got a triangular prism. So if you think about it, you've got 3 sides of the triangle plus the 2 ends. So you know for question number 8, so this is question number 8, you're going to have 5 planes. Okay, but what you've got to do is label them. So you've got A, C, E. So that's this end here. The other end is B, D, F. Okay, and then what else have you got? I'm labeling them all properly. So we've got A, B, E, and F. That's this right-hand side that we can see. The back of it that we can't see very often, very well, is A, B, C, and D. And because it's not on a plane, on another surface on its own, we can now do the base. So that's C, D, E, and F. Okay, so we've got 5 planes, and we've actually labelled them.